In the universe of Pirates of the Caribbean, gods play a vital role in most stories. From the Aztec gods responsible for cursing the famed gold of Hernan Cortez to the mysterious sea goddess turned into a human, Calypso. This video will explore all of the gods in the Pirates of the Caribbean saga. The series focuses on one type of god above all the rest: heathen gods. These are gods outside of Abrahamic beliefs, meaning they aren't Jewish, Islamic, or the Christian god.
I believe you're familiar with a person called Calypso.
Not a person. Naught but ash. The world is well rid of her.
Most famous of all the heathen gods in the series, the sea goddess Calypso might be the most important of all. Calypso, daughter of the Titan Atlas, once ruled as the goddess of the seas. Many years before the rise of piracy in the Caribbean, she fell in love with a Scottish sailor named Davy Jones. In order to test his love, she charged him with a duty to ferry souls lost at sea to the next world for 10 years. Upon the end of the decade, Jones and Calypso could reunite on land once again. And famously, the decade passed, and Calypso was nowhere to be seen. So in his fury, Davy Jones assembled the First Brethren Court to bind Calypso in a human form. But after successfully doing so, Jones carved out his own heart and buried it on Isla Cruces, due to his heartbreak from betraying his one true love. Many years later, in a desperate attempt to fend off the East India Trading Company, the Fourth Brethren Court freed Calypso from her human form, known as the voodoo priestess Teodalma. She then returned to the sea and caused a maelstrom between the two warring fleets, letting them battle as a neutral party in the conflict. Many years down the line, she assisted a new crew to defeat Davy Jones once again when he became trapped in the Sea of Thieves. Her further fate remains unknown. Another Greek god of the sea was Palaemon. Originally, he was known as the mortal boy Melicertes, whose parents enraged the goddess Hera for fostering Dionysus. Hera sent Melicertes' father into a murderous rampage, killing everyone in their family, but Melicertes and his mother Ino managed to flee. They jumped off a cliff and into the sea, turning them into entities rivaling the powers of the gods themselves. Melicertes, now known as Palaemon, became a demon who fed off the souls of sailors to keep his youth. Eventually, he was captured by the Spanish, and he was taken on board one of their ships as a prisoner. While he couldn't escape, he could use his power to consume the souls of the sailors. The other ships in the fleet took notice and blasted the ship from the water. Palaemon was sent adrift at sea, clinging for his life on a piece of wreckage. He was found by the Black Pearl, captained by Hector Barbosa, while he and his men were cursed. They brought him aboard thinking he was just a child, but Barbosa questioned why he'd be of such value to the Spanish, to which Palaemon explained that he was Ponce de Leon and knew of the location of the Fountain of Youth. Of course, Barbosa didn't believe him, but sailed to the island Palaemon claimed was home to the fountain with the slim hope of lifting the curse, but Palaemon summoned a horde of ghosts to attack the crew of the Black Pearl. Barbosa recalled that Palaemon was clinging for his life on a piece of debris earlier, so he deduced that he might not know how to swim, so he forced Palaemon to fall into the sea. Of course, in Greek mythology there's also Poseidon, the owner of a legendary trident that could rule the seas. He had an affiliation with a faction of the mermaids from Elis Arena, and he created mystical gemstones that had a link to his trident, and they could control all merfolk across the waves. Poseidon's son, Triton, is thought to have been the creator of the legendary Sword of Triton, wielded by Blackbeard and Hector Barbosa. In the long-lost civilization of Zerzura on the mysterious island called Kerma, where the Kermans hid for millennia inside of a mysterious fog surrounding the island. In the early 18th century, the pharaoh of the island was instructed by the god Epidemic to leave the island and find a cure to a disease the pharaoh's son was afflicted with. He sailed to the Caribbean and met with Teodalma, who gave him a cure, but he was intercepted by rogue pirates. In response, Epidemic sent Jack Sparrow to aid the pharaoh. Given how insane the story is, I'll be sure to give this subject its own video someday. Of course, the first gods we're made aware of in the series are the Aztec gods.
This is Aztec gold. One of 882 identical pieces they delivered in a stone chest to Cortez himself. Blood money paid to stem the slaughter he wreaked upon him with his armies. But the greed of Cortez was insatiable. So the heathen gods placed upon the gold a terrible curse. An immortal that removes but a single piece from that stone chest shall be punished for eternity.
Chantico is the Aztec goddess of fire, once encountered by Jack Sparrow and his friend Fitzwilliam, who tasked them with correcting fissures in time, while Davy Jones was in hot pursuit. After completing the task, Tiadama and Chantico met, and it seems that Chantico was aware that Tiadama was actually Calypso. Quetzalcoatl was another Aztec god. However, he never made a physical appearance in the series. He was known, however, as the leader of the Aztec gods, and his likeness was tattooed onto the chest of Captain Torrance, which enraged Quetzalcoatl into causing Torrance to have stormy weather follow him for the rest of his days. And, of course, the Aztec gods cursed the blood money paid by the Aztec civilization to Hernan Cortez to end his senseless slaughter. But of course, Cortez wasn't swayed, and the curse was designed to punish those who steal a coin for eternity. The only way to lift the curse was through repaid blood, and in the early 18th century, Jack Sparrow led a quest to find the lost gold. But his crew staged a mutiny on him and found the gold for themselves, cursing themselves for the next 10 years, until the curse was undone through the combined efforts of Will Turner and Jack Sparrow. And then there's the Abrahamic God, but he's just sort of chilling. That's it for today's video. If you liked it, give it a like and hit the subscribe button, comment down below and share your thoughts on these gods. Join my Patreon page for early access to videos, and join my Discord server. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you all have a great day.